We're awaiting showers and storms, which really start to pick up tonight. The heaviest of the rain is going to be in the hill country. We'll tell you how long that may last and what we may see here in San Antonio coming up.
And right now I'm on the scene of a major crash on the far east side involving an 18-wheeler. Now coming up, I'll let you know how this is going to slow down your east side commute.
This case has been a lot of untangling webs.
Bexar County Sheriff's deputies think that they know who shot and killed a local teen, while investigators just have not found that suspect, though. We break down what led to that deadly fight and that night.
Johnson, cross, shake, kick, Barnes, he buries it!
Yes, Harrison Barnes giving Spurs fans something to cheer for last night against the Memphis Grizzlies. We'll break down the game and what's next with the team injuries, including our very own Wemby, coming up.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
All right, and it's always a good morning after a big Spurs win. We'll be talking about that in a little bit. And yes, Alex is at the scene of a pretty significant crash that's going to be causing some major tie-ups. Welcome to GMSA. I'm RJ Marquez.
And I am Daphne Gray. Our weather authority has been busy this morning, Justin. Of course, you're tracking some storms on the way, but kind of a preview to that today.
Right. I think most of today is going to be quiet, other than we are seeing maybe a little bit of patchy drizzle and some light showers this morning. Just know that I think a lot of the real action will occur later tonight and going into tomorrow. So this is the authority radar right now, something we haven't been able to use in a while, but it is showing us some showers starting to develop here around San Antonio. Again, very light. These are not going to have a huge impact on you, but you could see some wet roads, at least brief damp roads, and then you may have to use the windshield wipers briefly as well as you head out the door this morning. So here's kind of your need to know. Cloudy, muggy, maybe some drizzle and some showers today. Storms flare up tonight near Del Rio in the hill country, and that's going to be the main area of concern overnight. And then on Thursday, that rain shifts towards San Antonio with some better odds for some downpours here, which I know at this point everyone's hoping for some rain, right? We just don't want the flooding, and those are two things that we'll be watching very closely for you as this all evolves. Patchy drizzle this morning. I'd say we'll continue that through about midday, and then there will be some spotty showers around. High temperature around 82, so still warm. Coming up, we're going to look at the futurecast and walk you through how things will evolve tonight and just how much rain you can expect coming up. Let's get over to RJ now because we've got serious issues out there.
That's right, Justin, specifically in the east side of town. So this is a shot from our TransGuide traffic camera right here at 10 at Escondido Creek. So basically a bird's eye view of what exactly happened out here. We had an 18-wheeler that rolled over on the main lanes of the westbound parts of I-10, again, over by 1604. And you see that we're not seeing any traffic move through any of the main lanes here. So let's give you a look at our maps and kind of give you an idea of what we're looking at in terms of the backups and some of the traffic spots here, the troubled traffic spots, as we take a look at I-10, 1604. That's a shot that's a little bit further down the road. And basically right here, 10 at 1516. Again, that's going to be our shot there at Escondido Creek. So again, this is a full shutdown of the westbound lanes of I-10 at 1604, FM 1516 also being affected this morning. We've been tracking this for hours, including our very own Alex Gomez in drive cam for us. And he's been out there since before we started our 5 o'clock hour. So let's go to Alex for the very latest on the ground right now and see how things are looking. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So I arrived around 4:40, and check this out. Crews are making some great progress right here. This is the second trailer that was attached to the 18-wheeler, and it is now upright. So crews are now paying attention to the main trailer right to the left of it. This is still going to be flipped right here, but you can see crews just emptying out the trailer, trying to make it lighter so they can get that one upright as well. So in the meantime, you can utilize the access road, but things are getting a lot busier now. Traffic is starting to get busy. I-10 westbound is going to be backed up now from 1604 all the way past Greytown Road. So remember, you have to take that 1604 exit, and then you can re-enter the highway right before FM 1516. RJ.
All right, thank you very much, Alex, for that update. And at last check, we were told that this should reopen closer to our 7 o'clock hour. We will continue to track this. Let's get to one of our top stories this half hour, though. Crews working to recover a body after an apparent rollover crash on the south side. So just before 7 o'clock last night, crews were called to Southwest Loop 410 near Highway 16 at Palo Alto Road. San Antonio fire officials say that a vehicle rolled into a creek bed or ditch earlier in the day and that it was just discovered at that time. First responders Officers later confirmed that they found a body inside. This investigation is still underway. And the latest this morning here, check this out. This is a northeast side motel that was raided by San Antonio police. That's some of the video that we shot of the scene. Investigators went room to room to figure out exactly what they stumbled onto. And city officials say that more inspections and possible citations could follow once they sort through what exactly was found. This is all after they received thousands of calls stemming from that one location, that one motel. So this is what the scene looked like at the Cube Living near Loop 410 and Rittiman Road. San Antonio police and a number of city agencies executed a warrant for several code violations. While officers were clearing rooms, they noticed something suspicious.
A lot of our officers noticed that there's locks on the outside of the doors that have been modified to lock people in. That's usually an indication that there's human trafficking involved. And so we have detectives from our special victims unit talking to witnesses, talking to victims, seeing if anyone is a victim of human trafficking or sexual assault.
While some people were detained at the scene, San Antonio police did not confirm if anyone was expected to face charges.
KSAT finding records for the first people charged in connection to a Sunday morning raid by federal agents that we've been telling you about. KSAT investigates found former charges for at least 2 people. The raid happened near San Pedro and Bassi on the north side. FBI told us yesterday that more than 140 immigrants were taken into custody. Our KSAT Investigates team spent the last 2 days combing through the court records, and they found records showing ICE agents took Marcos Contreras Max and Edwin Javier Chinchilla Lopez into custody during that raid. Both men, who are from Honduras, are charged with illegal re-entry. The feds say that the raid was aimed at disrupting the activities of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua. But the court records don't have evidence showing that Contreras Max or Chinchilla Lopez are connected to the gang. Now, still not in custody. That's a frustration we're dealing with this morning, where Bexar County Sheriff's deputies think they know who shot and killed a teenager in September, that they just haven't found him. It's been nearly 3 months since 17-year-old daughter Eliana Huerta was shot and killed, and now her family needs your help. They're talking about 18-year-old Deshaun Suggs. He's wanted for Eliana's murder. Here's what we know so far of what happened on Sunday, September the 28th. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office says that Eliana was one of the teenagers partying at the Lot Unlucky Road. They say a fight broke out and someone shot. And Sheriff Javier Salazar says evidence points to Suggs.
We're actually actively looking for him. This case has been a lot of untangling webs.
He has to place himself at the mercy of the justice system.
Now, Crime Stoppers is offering a $5,000 reward for tips that lead to an arrest of Deshaun Suggs. And anyone with any information, you need to call the number that you see on your screen right now.
6:07, Eric Cantu remains out of jail this morning despite a second probation violation. So what's next for the man that was shot by a former San Antonio police officer 3 years ago? A judge has now resentenced Cantu to 8 years probation. If he has any more violations, he would automatically be sentenced to prison for 10 years. So we've been following Cantu's cases very closely since he got out of the hospital months after being shot by former officer James Brennan back in 2022. Cantu is expected to be a witness for the state when Brennan goes to trial, but a trial date has yet to be set for the former officer. Since that initial incident, though, police have arrested Cantu multiple times. Most recently, he got into trouble for allegedly slamming a woman to the ground and stomping on her head. The alleged incident happened last year, but the district attorney's office did not charge him until this past September.
KSAT Investigates has counted the 12th BCSO deputy who is now under arrest this year, charged with assault. Corporal Jonathan Amaya, accused of physically attacking his girlfriend, who is a civilian employee with the department. Investigators say that he pushed her against a wall and held his hand over her neck. Amaya was arrested while on duty and faces charges including assault and interfering with an emergency call.
Hey there, good morning. I'm Patty Santos. This morning, a decision Southwest ISD parents fought against is officially moving forward. Let's show you here on the map what we're talking about. This is the district that's located in the southwest part of San Antonio. It borders Lackland Air Force Base and it stretches near Lytle. It covers Von Ormy, and they have over 13,000 students in 19 campuses. The school district voted last night to close Sky Harbor Elementary as early as next school school year. Trustees unanimously approved the district's rebalancing plan. It's a move district leaders say is driven by declining enrollment, aging infrastructure, and the opening of new campus next fall. Currently, Sky Harbor students will be consolidated into surrounding elementary schools. Families can apply for transfers within that district during this transition as well. And Southwest ISD is just the latest district to announce a campus closure. As you know, we reported about South San ISD, San Antonio ISD, Northeast ISD, and San Antonio Charter Academy all have announced closures in recent years. Reporting live, I'm Patty Santos. We'll send it back to you.
All right, outside with live cam, it is 6:09, 74 degrees, a very humid morning, muggy morning with a few showers out there. There is going to be a severe risk later tonight. I'll tell you what I think the biggest issue may be coming up.
The probate court judge, I see all forms of it because nobody seems to talk about it.
Elder abuse is a hidden crisis in Bexar County with more than 5,000 reports last year alone. But up next, one judge is creating a task force and landing a big grant to fight back. We'll show you how this new center could change lives.
Pedestrians don't cross at crossings, people driving don't pay attention.
Well, San Antonio streets can be dangerous for pedestrians, ranked 7th deadliest in the country with over 700 accidents last year. Coming up, we're going to tell you what the city is doing to take action and a full breakdown of the funding that's meant to help keep our crosswalks safer.
And country fans, listen up, because before the spotlights come up at the CMA Awards, Lainey Wilson's giving a peek behind the curtain. We'll tell you inside Lainey's final run-through before showtime. And welcome back at 6:14. Adult Protective Services have confirmed almost 5,400 reports of elder abuse or neglect.
That's right. Bexar County has the second worst numbers in the state of Texas. And as our anchor Courtney Friedman reports, some local agencies are starting to do something about it.
Melissa Cross says in 2020, her mother in San Antonio was financially exploited by hired caregivers.
She was living off a marital trust. And this is where, when she became ill with vascular dementia, she was taken advantage of.
Since her mother passed away, she's been advocating for more attention on these types of cases. Cases Judge Veronica Vasquez sees every day: elder abuse, neglect, and exploitation.
As a probate court judge, I see all forms of it because nobody seems to talk about it.
So she started talking about it. She created the Bexar County Elder Abuse and Exploitation Task Force. And then just this month, secured a $186,000 grant for a new center that would bring laser focus to these cases. The Bexar County Senior Justice Assessment Center is the second of its kind in the state, modeled after Harris County's.
It will have 2 full-time social workers. That's where most of the grant money is going towards, but it will also partner with agencies like San Antonio Police Department, the Bexar County Sheriff's Office, Adult Protective Services, and possibly some social organizations like Meals on Wheels and the Diaper Bank.
Those agencies would make referrals to the center when a senior was in trouble.
At that point, it's the roundtable discussion where it will be that on that week's docket, and then they go through, this is the person, this is the incident, what all at the table can we provide this person.
They'll offer protective orders, victim compensation, help with food insecurity, or even help cutting their grass. News that fills Melissa with gratitude.
So that this doesn't happen to anybody else.
I heard that you were a big supporter of this new center.
And I will continue to be for the rest of my life.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
All right, 6:16. In case you went to bed a little bit early, the Spurs scored a wild win against the Memphis Grizzlies to improve to 10-4 on the season. So you see that right there. This was the first time the Spurs played without both Wemby and Steph Castle this season. The Spurs stars will be out for about the next 2 weeks. The Spurs, though, they went on an 11-0 run to close out the game. That was led by De'Aaron Fox with 26 points, and then Harrison Barnes coming up clutch, adding 23 points for the Silver and Black. So the Spurs are still also without Dylan Harper, but get this, he could return after the next 2 games, so at least we're getting one of our young stars back. Now they've won 2 straight and will host the Hawks tomorrow night at the Frostbank Center.
I would say feel.
I would say feel, right? Yeah, good morning, RJ. So I'm still here on scene on the far east side, and you can see Texas Towing. They're doing some great work out here. They're almost about ready to haul away this second trailer right here. In the meantime, we do have crews still working on the main trailer, not too far away from it. It's right behind it, and they're still emptying out the cargo from that one right there, just to make it lighter so they can get that one upright as well. But I-10 westbound is still going to be shut down. You're being forced to exit 1604 if you're coming in from Seguin or the surrounding areas. And right now, traffic is going to be back there from 1604 all the way. It's about reaching Field Road now, RJ.
All right, thank you very much for that, Alex. And yes, as you can hear earlier, before we started, Alex there, he was talking to some emergency officials trying to gather just more information. It is obviously a fluid scene out there. Here's another quick check for some of our TransGuide traffic cameras. 10 at 1604, as Alex mentioned, Greytown Road, Field Road. We're starting to see some pretty significant backup here for many of our drivers. So FM 1516 further up the road to 1604 is going to be our biggest concern. So let's talk about some alternate routes real quick for many of our drivers that are coming down on 1518. You can take that to Lower Seguin, North Abbott Road, FM 2538, Trainer Hale, and Ware Seguin Road. Those are all potential options for you to navigate around this one crash. I-10 West completely shut down on the east side of town. Let's go to our Weather Authority meteorologist Justin Horn for a check of today's forecast.
Thank you, sir. We'll start with the bus stop forecast for you heading out the door right now. I want to let you know that there is a little bit of drizzle out there, but for the most part, just cloudy and muggy and humid this morning. Temperatures will be in the low 70s by this afternoon when you get out of school, 82. The sun should peek through a couple times, but some spotty showers. I'd say rain chances are at about 30% today. So again, not a big worry here in San Antonio. That more so comes tomorrow when we could see a little better chance for some showers and storms. Outside, you can almost detect that mugginess, just air is thick. 74 degrees at the airport, 72 in New Braunfels, 74, Converse, 70 right now at Bernie. So again, a very warm morning. Looking at the futurecast here as we get into tonight, this is where we start to see some of these storms developing generally west of San Antonio. And the problem I think we're going to run into is that you'll see this kind of line of storms, but it doesn't really progress east all that much. So we may get some training, and my concerns will be from Del Rio to Rock Springs up towards the Junction area. Now, by midday tomorrow, they will start to shift east. And as they do, we should see some showers and storms here around San Antonio, maybe another round of showers and storms along a frontal boundary before that pushes through, and then we get a chance to clear out on Friday. And then showers and storms return late Saturday and as we get into Sunday. So there are more opportunities for rain. This is midnight Sunday, and it shows more showers and storms developing. So we're getting into sort of a busy pattern here. Rainfall potential is going to be highest out west, and this is where we could see 1 to 3 inches of rain, but there could be a few bullseyes, 5 inches plus, depending on where this line sets up. So there is a flood risk in those areas. For San Antonio, I'd say it's going to be more in the order of a quarter to half an inch with some higher totals, maybe 1 to 2 inches to the north, but I just don't think our rainfall totals are going to be all that great here in town, I'm sorry to say. 60% chance of showers, few storms tomorrow, 80 Friday, and yes, rain chances do return Saturday or Sunday into Monday, I should say. So if you don't get any rain today or tomorrow, just hold out hope that there are more opportunities down the road. And we'll talk more about those rain chances going into the weekend coming up in a little bit.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
All right. 621 right now, 74 degrees outside.
Up next, we're stepping aside of country music star Lainey Wilson's final prep before she hits the stage of the Country Music Awards.
In this morning's GMA First Look, counting down to the CMA Awards.
Will we see bell bottoms? It feels right. It's you.
You're going to see bell bottoms.
Big ones?
Bell bottoms in all shapes and sizes and colors, and we're doing the thing.
Lara Spencer is taking you behind the scenes with host Lainey Wilson before the biggest night in country music.
So when you were a little girl watching the CMA Awards, could you have ever imagined that you'd be walking onto this stage right now?
Honestly, I just got the leg chills. Hosting this thing that is huge in itself.
Yep.
It is really huge.
A big deal.
To think that they trust me enough to stand on this stage and, and sing people's praises and celebrate country music.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of Lara and Lainey as we count down to the CMA Awards. With your GMA First Look, I'm Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning has to do with cities in Texas. Approximately how many are there? You can vote, ksat.com/poll, or scan the QR code.
And a quick check of traffic before we get you to 6:30. We have got a major shutdown on I-10 West at 1604 on the east side of town for our drivers. An 18-wheeler jackknifed and spilled some fuel on the roads. We're going to check in with Alex Gomez, our photojournalist on the ground, in just a little bit. Also coming up at 6:30.
SNAP benefits are back, but there are new requirements coming soon that may make it not as easy to qualify, and that includes new work requirements. But this morning, if you do receive these benefits, we talk about what you need to know to remain eligible. After allegedly strangling a kitten to death, this guy that you see right here had nothing to say. But get this, later today, a judge will have a lot to say regarding an animal cruelty charge. We go over the latest in the courtroom at 6:30.
We're waiting on some showers and storms. They're really going to pick up tonight. We expect some pretty heavy rain over the hill country. We'll break down the numbers for you coming up.
People who need help with their addiction but can't afford to pay for it are getting it right here at Lifetime Recovery, all thanks to your tax dollars. Coming up on GMSA, we're going to tell you about a multi-million-dollar construction that is now helping even more people.
Well, are you headed out of town on Thanksgiving? Well, before you hit the road, we're going to tell you the best time to travel and what gas prices are going to look like on Thanksgiving week.
Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And happy hump day right now, 6:30. It is a busy hump day so far. Of course, we got our weather authority tracking a lot of activity on our forecast. But first and foremost, let's get over to RJ with our traffic authority. You guys are also tracking something big on the roadways.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff. So we've been tracking this since before we started our 5 o'clock hour. So this one crash that was reported on the east side of town happened after 1 o'clock this morning, still causing some major delays. Real quick, though, want to give you a quick update. Everything else across the city is looking okay for the most part. We are tracking another incident right there, 90 at Old Highway 90, and we'll continue to get some more updates on that situation. But here's the situation on 10 West at 1604 Escondido Creek. You see all the main lanes of 10 West are completely shut down at the moment. Traffic is slowly moving through the access road right now. The eastbound traffic does not appear to be affected at the moment. Here's a look at our maps and a couple of other TransGuide traffic cameras. We're looking at standstill traffic, about a 2-hour delay right now just to get from this stretch from 1516 past 1604 over to Graytown and File Road. So let's go to Alex Gomez right now for a check of things on the ground. He's been there since about 4:40 this morning, tracking everything.
Yeah, good morning, RJ. So you're right. I've been here for about 2 hours, and like I was saying earlier, this is going to be a very slow process to get this cleared up. So right now, Texas Towing has made some progress in getting this second trailer upright. So now crews are paying attention to that main trailer. They're trying to empty the cargo so they can get that one upright as well. So this is what's causing the I-10 westbound lanes to be completely shut down. You can still utilize the access road, and you can re-enter the highway from FM 1516, but right now the main lanes are going to be pretty backed up. You have to exit 1604. That's why traffic is backed up from 1604 all the way past Field Road this morning, RJ.
All right, thank you, Alex. We will continue to track this. And again, TxDOT had told us, or TransGuide, told us that this would open during our 7 o'clock hour, and it may actually extend past that. Let's go to our Weather Authority meteorologist, Justin Horn, to get a check of today's forecast.
Thank you, sir. And we begin with your need to know. Today, cloudy, muggy, maybe some drizzle, maybe some light showers. No real big impacts to your day. You may grab the umbrella just in case. There could be a couple moments where it's damp, but nothing heavy. It's tonight where we start to see storms flaring up. That's going to be out west Del Rio into the hill country, not so much here in San Antonio. But this is also a place where we could see some flooding rainfall, at least in spots. And then Thursday, the rain moves closer to us here in town with some showers and possibly a storm or two. Forecast for today, 30% chance of drizzle or spotty showers. High temperature will be around 82, so still warm and again very muggy. And the rain potential tonight, I mentioned that flooding out west. The main corridor here that we're concerned with is going to be from Kerrville to Uvalde, Del Rio up to Rock Springs. Those are areas that could see a substantial amount of rain that could lead to some street flooding and maybe some creek and river flooding. So these are areas obviously that we will watch very closely. We're going to give you an update on the timing of all this. And yes, there are more rain chances on the way this weekend. That update comes your way in just a couple minutes.
Well, today, a man accused of strangling a kitten to death faces a charge of cruelty to non-livestock animals, and we asked him why he did it. 31-year-old Ryan Berlanga walked in front of our cameras before being taken to jail yesterday. He didn't answer our questions about what happened back on November the 9th at a Southwest Side apartment complex. Well, San Antonio police say that the video shows Berlanga killing the cat. They say people were able to identify him and police issued a warrant. Berlanga, who has a criminal history, turned himself in. He now faces a charge of cruelty to non-livestock animals, which is a misdemeanor.
6:34 near Wednesday morning. Well, this morning you see this individual right here. 18-year-old accused killer is now being investigated in his second murder. The big question now is, are there any other suspects? San Antonio police say that Noah West was arrested after a man was found dead in an alley. This happened off of Gramercy Place on the northwest side. Investigators say that surveillance video appears to show West leaving that scene with a weapon. Detectives are also questioning him about another case on Frederick Shore Road where a man was found with severe head injuries. West is currently in jail on a $500,000 bond, and police tell us they are not looking for any other suspects at this moment. Okay, let's get to a traffic story here because San Antonio may be great for a lot of things, but being a pedestrian just is not one of them. Our reporter Devin Karp shows us why San Antonio is unfortunately the 7th deadliest city in the nation for pedestrians and how the problem is hopefully about to get fixed.
Staying safe in San Antonio is not easy on the roads, whether you're crossing them or driving them.
I think in our everyday lives, we get so busy and we're just rushing from one place to another that we forget to really just slow down, pay attention.
Last year, TxDOT says there were more than 700 pedestrian-involved accidents. Of those, 168 people were seriously hurt, 89 died.
So what we have found is that pedestrians don't cross at crossings, people driving don't pay attention, and so for that reason we're launching this campaign.
The city of San Antonio has $1.25 million in grant money to run Keep Crossings Safe, educating the public on safety measures, and is also spending more than $4 million to install median crosswalks on Zarzamora, but is looking at other trouble spots in town too.
We're focusing on 3 corridors. Those 3 corridors are going to be W.W. White, Zarzamora, and also Fredericksburg Road.
If you want to do something about the problem from the comfort of your own home, you just need to go to this website, scroll down to the map section. There you can add a pin at the exact intersection where you think something needs to happen. Just like Connie Swan did, who said she noticed a lot of kids crossing at this intersection and wants to see better striping and flashing crosswalk lights. So when it comes to safety on the roads, whether you're walking next to them or behind the wheel, act safe now. Don't wait. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you, Devin. 6:36 right now. Let's get to your headlines. After months of waiting, Congress has taken a big step forward. Both the House and the Senate have passed a bill to release Justice Department files on Jeffrey Epstein, who's the late sex offender. But the bill passed overwhelmingly, with President Donald Trump saying that he's going to sign it. For survivors, this is a significant moment in their long fight for answers and accountability. SNAP benefits are back for now, but millions of people could still be at risk of permanently losing them. That's because changes are coming to SNAP benefits eligibility. Those changes were laid out in the mega bill signed by President Donald Trump this summer. There will be new requirements decrease eligibility for refugees, and states will pay some of the cost of the program. A Congressional Budget Office estimates more than 3 million Americans could lose benefits over the next few years.
Right outside with live cam, it is 74 degrees, very humid and muggy out there. Maybe some drizzle this morning. Here is a futurecast for 3 p.m. tomorrow. We'll see storms building in the hill country, and some of those could work towards San Antonio tomorrow afternoon. We'll show you some newly updated data coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Justin. We still are tracking this accident that happened early this morning. 18-wheeler jackknife on the westbound lanes of 10 at 1604 on the east side of town, the far east side. We're going to give you more updates, give you some alternate routes on this coming up in just a few minutes. Also, we will check in on things on the northeast and northwest sides of town coming up just a bit.
It's going to be the cheapest Thanksgiving since really the pandemic back in 2021.
If you're heading home for Thanksgiving, before you hit the road, you need to get your phone ready because we're walking you through a simple way to stretch your gas tank so your wallet stays as full as your plate.
Did you have to sleep in this corridor?
I did, on the other side. There was another skid row directly across from here.
Hamilton Barton says that's what this corridor was jokingly called when he was here for treatment back in 2012 and 2013. It was an enclosed hallway created to make more space for clients.
When I lived here, it was not great. Everything that I needed was here.
Now he's the chief sustainability officer for Lifetime Recovery.
This building was pretty leaky. There was the ceilings were stained, the drafts that came through the windows. It was, from where a lot of us come from, it was, even in its disrepair, it was still kind of a step up, and it was a roof over our head.
The 100-year-old former boys' school turned substance abuse recovery center recently had a major renovation. We got a tour of the place in 2022 before the renovations began, and here it is now.
Yeah, in the old boys' school days, they called it the big room.
After the $18 million construction and remodeling, there are 154 beds available. Women are admitted for the first time into the program. The space in and around the building seems peaceful and dignified. The counseling offices are more private and more spacious. CEO David Phibbs says it's important to note that no one gets turned away.
There are plenty of options if you have resources. If you do not have insurance, if you do not have financials, if you do not have family support, where are you going to go? So therefore, we are the spot that helps with that in Bexar County and South Texas. We draw from around as well.
Alumni like Barton have a lot of faith in the work being done here. His own son is currently going through the program.
I know that the programs here are the best you're going to find. So my baby, my youngest of 5 children, when he came to me and said that I need help, this is where he needed to come.
All right, thanks, Patty, for that story. Well, gas prices here in San Antonio did exactly what analysts warned they would do. So I talked to Patrick DeHaan from Gas Buddy on Monday morning, and he told me then that Monday was the day to fill up before we would see that spike. And he says it's all because of something called price cycling. That's when gas stations slowly drop their price until they're selling at cost, and that's when they jack the price back up. So that's exactly what we saw. San Antonio's average jumped right here from Monday, $2.53, and then you can see it went up a little bit there on Tuesday, $2.62. And today, you see it's already at $2.81. This is all according to AAA Texas.
Texas average price about a penny lower than last year. So all in all, you're going to be seeing some very familiar prices for Thanksgiving. Prices still at Thanksgiving expected to be just lower than last year. It's going to be the cheapest Thanksgiving since really the pandemic back in 2021.
So the good news here, if you are driving for Thanksgiving, prices should actually look better by the time you fill up again. And speaking of travel, we also talked to AAA about what drivers should expect.
Well, we are anticipating that the heaviest traffic will be on the Tuesday and Wednesday before Thanksgiving, as well as the Sunday after Thanksgiving. So our recommendations are to leave as early in the day as you possibly can.
Well, AAA says if you are hitting the road early next week, it's best to avoid that late afternoon rush, and they expect about 5.3 million Texans to be on the roads from Tuesday through the Monday after Thanksgiving. So yeah, if you have to leave, try to leave early. And I know, RJ, you were talking about it earlier, your experience actually traveling on Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
35 especially.
Yeah, I went to Austin last year for Thanksgiving and then left Thanksgiving and had no problems on the actual Thanksgiving day. But some people can't help that because they want to, get in town before, family members arrive. And,
Well, great tips right there, Steph. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Speaking of driving, let's get back on the roadways right now. Are we seeing any relief yet?
No.
No?
Quick answer, yes.
No.
All right, so real quick, want to give you a citywide look exactly what we're seeing across the city. Don't want to forget about all of our drivers. Looks like we do have an incident right there. That's going to be 151 at 1604, but not seeing too many delays for all of our drivers. Northeast side's actually looking pretty good right now. No major delays, and that's good because right now the biggest thing that we're following at the moment is going to be on the far east side of town. So let's go ahead and zoom in and show you exactly what we're looking at. Again, an 18-wheeler jackknife. TxDOT reported that this happened just after 1 o'clock this morning, but the issue is that it apparently spilled some type of fluid battery acid slip potentially onto the main lanes of I-10 West. So that's why we're seeing this full shutdown of the westbound lanes of 10 right there at 1604, basically extending to FM 1516. Right now, we're not seeing any traffic get through there. 2-hour delays at the moment. A couple of alternate routes include 1518 to Lower Seguin Road and also to Abbott Road on the other side of the highway right there, and then FM 2538 to Ware Seguin Road as well, Trainer Hale. So yes, it's been a very, very busy morning for our drivers on the east side of town. Let's check in with our photojournalist Alex Gomez right now for the very latest. He's been there at the scene for hours now. Alex, what can you tell us?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. And it's been a long morning for the crews as well. Since I've been here since about 4:40 a.m., crews have just been hard at work, and early reports indicated that this crash happened around 1 a.m. So you can imagine how tired they are. It looks like they're getting back to work after a little breather right here, but there's still a lot of steps that needs to be taken. They still have to get the main vehicle upright, and then they still have to clean a lot of the debris, some of the liquids that may have been spilled. Early reports indicated that there was some fuel that was spilled. They're gonna have to throw some sand on that as well. So I'd be very surprised if they do reopen this in the 7 o'clock hour, but I'll still keep an eye on it. Until then, I-10 westbound remains closed. You have to exit 1604, but you can use the frontage road though, RJ. Frontage road's still gonna be open, and then you can re-enter the highway right before FM 1516, RJ.
All right, thank you very much for that update, Alex. We will continue to track this crash. Again, I-10 West, 1604, completely shut down on the east side.
All right, we've got some important news to pass along to you this morning, where an event for San Antonio Rodeo that was supposed to begin today has been canceled. The Uvalde qualifier event was put on hold because of a serious horse virus outbreak in Texas. It's known as EHV1, where the disease can cause respiratory disease and loss of balance in horses, among other problems. The Texas Animal Health Commission says that this outbreak may be tied to a recent barrel race in Waco. San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo says that they canceled the event to prioritize animal safety and will provide more details on how this could affect the contestants' pool coming up.
All right, let's take a look outside. We've still got cloudy conditions, some very low-hanging clouds, and we've seen visibility come down a little bit just within the last hour here around San Antonio. So maybe a little bit of fog and certainly some drizzle. You're going to have to probably use your windshield wipers at least a couple times as you're heading into work or school this morning. There's just so much moisture in the atmosphere. Nothing that's going to be very heavy, but you could see some damp spots on the roads. And yeah, just overall very, very humid. 72 in New Braunfels, 74 right now in San Antonio. So that is really warm to start a mid-November day. We're going to keep a 30% chance of rain in the forecast today, but it's mainly light stuff drizzle, maybe some spotty showers, maybe a few peaks of sun this afternoon. We'll get our temperatures up to 82, and then things start to change tonight. We'll see storms start to develop out west. Now, this is a new computer model that we're looking at here, and it does want to develop storms like our last model, right in the same area, Rock Springs down to Del Rio, and that's where we think we'll see some of the highest rainfall totals overnight. And then as we get into tomorrow, those showers and storms will start to advance east. Now, I think there is a question as to how much rain we see here, because once it starts to move towards San Antonio, it picks up speed, and we'll be on the far southern end of this. So we're not going to see the totals that they see out west, but at least we'll see a little something tomorrow. I think showers and maybe a couple storms for a time. Then a front comes through Friday morning. That clears us out for Friday, and then we'll get some clouds returning Saturday, maybe with a few showers and storms coming back into the picture. Rain potential. Again, it's this corridor here where we think we're going to pick up the bulk of our rainfall, and this could be on the order of 1 to 3 inches with some bullseyes, 5 inches plus, and that will lead to flooding. It always does. And this is something that we'll be monitoring very closely tonight and into tomorrow morning on GMSA. Meantime, here around San Antonio, we're still thinking just a quarter to half an inch. There could be some spots north of town, 1 to 2, but I think in general, our numbers are just going to be far less. And I'm sorry to say that, but that's just the situation that we're in. We're still going to keep a 60% chance of rain in the forecast tomorrow, but do know it's not going to rain all day. And by Friday, it clears out. We do get some more rain chances Sunday into Monday, so if you miss out tomorrow, there are more opportunities down the line. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning has to do with the amount of cities in Texas. We wanted to know approximately how many cities are in Texas. Is it 700, 1,200, 1,800, or 2,300? No one thinks it's 700, but what do you guys think?
Definitely going with the audience.
Okay.
1,200 it goes.
I'm going with the audience, but I know this answer because I knew a guy from Rotan, Texas, and I remember I did some research to see just how many small cities there were, and I came across this number.
Oh, Rotan. All right.
Rotan.
Yeah, near Abilene. All right. 1,200 is the correct answer. It's actually a little more than that. It's a little above 1,200 incorporated cities, of course, and they range from Houston, which has 2.3 million residents, to over 400 towns with a population of less than 1,000.
Very interesting stuff here.
There's your fun fact for today.
Thank you very much. Yes, Rotan, Texas. Shout out to them.
It's 52 right now, 74 degrees outside.
All right, coming up in just a few minutes on GMSA Plus. All right, get this. It's never too early to celebrate Fiesta, 148 days away. But today, a major player will be announced. We're going to tell you where you can find out the latest Fiesta fun information.
Hey there, good morning. I'm Patty Santos here at Highway Access 90 near Penn Road. This is a hit and run that San Antonio police are investigating this morning. They don't have any information on the vehicle that they're looking for, but they do tell us that one person is dead right now. We've seen them talking to some witnesses here that appear to have been walking in this area. But this area, Access Road 90, which becomes Enrique Barrera Parkway, is going to be closed just for a couple of blocks. You can take Westfield Boulevard to Penn Road or Susette. That's how you get around this closure. We're going to stay on top of this story and bring you the very latest on KSAT.com.
Patty, thank you so much. Do know there will be some drizzle out there this morning, some spotty showers today. We'll see a high of 82. Chances of rain tonight out west, better chances of rain here in San Antonio. Much more coming up on GMSA Plus.
What?